The Holy Eucharist, the source and summit of the Christian life. If the Eucharist is only a symbol, then why did Christians spend centuries willing to die for it? For 2,000 years, the Catholic Church has proclaimed a truth so extraordinary that it has shaped civilizations, inspired saints, built cathedrals, and transformed countless lives. Jesus Christ is truly present in the Holy Eucharist, not symbolically, not metaphorically, not merely spiritually, but truly, really, and substantially present. Body, blood, soul, and divinity. That is why the Catechism of the Catholic Church calls the Eucharist the source and summit of the Christian life. CCC 1324. Every sacrament points toward it. Every ministry serves it. Every act of Christian worship finds its fulfillment in it. Because the Eucharist is not simply a gift from Christ, the Eucharist is Christ himself. The Eucharist is the source. Every living thing needs nourishment. The body needs food. The soul needs God. Catholic theology teaches that in the Eucharist, through the miracle of transubstantiation, the appearances of bread and wine remain, but their substance becomes Jesus Christ himself. This is why the Eucharist is the source of Christian life. It nourishes the soul with divine grace. It strengthens believers against sin. It deepens communion with God. It unites Christians into one body. The Eucharist is not merely a reminder of Christ, it is an encounter with Christ. Every worthy reception of Holy Communion draws the believer into deeper union with the Lord who said, "Whoever eats my flesh and drinks my blood remains in me, and I in him." John 6:56. The Eucharist is the summit. Every journey has a destination. Every mountain has a peak. The Eucharist is the highest point of Christian worship. At every Mass, Catholics do not simply remember Calvary. The sacrifice of Christ on the cross is made present sacramentally in an unbloody manner. The same Jesus who offered himself for the salvation of the world is the Jesus offered upon the altar. This is why the Mass is the greatest act of worship on earth. Nothing surpasses it. No prayer is greater. No devotion is higher. No act of praise is more perfect. Every act of charity, every sacrifice, every prayer, every vocation ultimately finds its fulfillment in communion with Christ through the Eucharist. The biblical foundation. The Catholic belief in the Eucharist is rooted firmly in Scripture. In John chapter 6, Jesus repeatedly declares, "My flesh is true food, and my blood is true drink." John 6:55. When many disciples found this teaching difficult and walked away, Jesus did not call them back to explain that he was speaking symbolically. Instead, he allowed them to leave. At the Last Supper, he took bread and said, "This is my body." He took the cup and said, "This is my blood." He did not say, "This represents my body." He said, "This is my body." The apostles believed him. The early church believed him. The saints believed him. The church continues to believe him today. The testimony of history. The real presence was not invented centuries later. The earliest Christians testified to it. Around AD 107, Saint Ignatius of Antioch described the Eucharist as the flesh of Jesus Christ. Around AD 155, Saint Justin Martyr taught that the Eucharistic bread and wine become the body and blood of Christ. Long before theological debates arose, Christians already worshipped with this belief. The Council of Trent would later dogmatically define this teaching, not as a new doctrine, but as the defense of what Christians had always believed.